Hello, artists. Welcome back to another Art Life Conversations podcast. I am artist and teacher, coach, mentor, and your host of this podcast, Kelly Folsom. And today I'm super excited to be talking with you about my number one secret to making more money as an artist, okay? If you are an artist who wants to make more money as an artist and wants to understand how to better go about doing that, then you are in the right place. So here's part of the problem. You can be like the best, absolute best artist in the world. And guess what? You can still be broke. You can still not know how to make money as an artist. And this is a very, very frustrating place to be. And I have been there myself. I was there for so many years. Part of the problem is that there's some lies that many of us believe. There are some belief systems around being an artist and making money that I know I myself held as an artist, and a lot of the artists that I come into contact with still and knew back then also held some of these lies and limiting beliefs around being an artist and making money. You know, it's so demoralizing to work so hard on your craft, to get so good and build your skill set as an artist. And for example, have paintings upon paintings or drawings or sculptures or whatever it is that you make in your art stacking up. Okay, and very, very little money in the bank. And the negative side effect of that is that we start to lose interest in making our art. Because we're in obscurity and we don't really see that people value what we do. And so therefore we kind of start believing it ourselves, like that what we do maybe doesn't matter, or that people don't value it, or people don't appreciate it. So why even go through all this bother and all this hassle and all this headache to put all this time and energy into our artwork only to have it just sitting in our studio collecting dust, and piling up. So some other beliefs that are out there and kind of some cliches and catchphrases that get thrown around is like, oh, just get so good that they can't ignore you. The get so good that they can't ignore you belief is really a limiting belief, because it really puts all of your power outside of yourself and puts it on an external thing. Like you are waiting for validation and approval from somebody else. You're waiting for somebody else to write the check so that you feel good enough as an artist, right? So can you feel that is going to be a limiting thing for you to believe as an artist? And also it keeps you just feeling like, oh, just nose to the grindstone. If only I could get better. If only I would make better work, which is belittling the current work that you do, which you might actually already be good enough to be selling, right? And so it's really like this negative cycle and this negative loop that starts to happen. And again, I have no judgment towards anyone for believing this, because I used to say that too. I used to think that and say that myself, like, oh, just got to work harder, just got to get so good that they don't ignore me. Well, I can just tell you that that's not how it works. Like you have to believe in yourself first. You have to believe in the goodness and quality of yourself and of your work first, and then you have to continuously, put yourself out there so that other people will also start to believe in you. There's some other beliefs that kind of can hold us back too, like, you can't do what you love and make money. And of course, there's a pervading kind of starving artist myth that has been pervading for centuries, really. And honestly, not every artist had this limiting belief throughout, the history of art. It really kind of started up, I think, more, I would say probably in the 1900s, sort of like this bohemian lifestyle, that artists were these kind of creative bohemians and they were broke, and all artists are kind of like Van Gogh, like they're inspired geniuses, but they're also broke, right? So I used to say this thing of like, oh, well, I can't have my cake and eat it too. And I used to actually feel guilty. I would feel guilty about wanting to make more money as an artist. I would think, well, so many people in the world don't get to do what they love, don't get to, make beautiful art and go to art school. And I should just be great. I should, catching those words too. I should just be grateful, to have this gift, have this talent, and I'll be happy, with whatever I get financially. These are some of the really deep-seated beliefs and problems that many artists face, and it really does not serve any of us to believe any of these. What ended up happening for me was I discovered really a number one secret, because if you do not do this thing that I'm about to share with you, stick with me here, nothing else that you do will really work. Okay, and I'll explain why. So the number one solution for you and me to be able to make more money as an artist is to set a revenue goal. Okay, you want to set your revenue goal for the year, and then you want to divide that by 12 and set it for the month. All right. Automatically, you might be like myself back in the day when I first did this with my first art business coach. Her name was Alexis Fedor, just to give, credit where credit is due. But this is just a basic business principle, right? But like all of us artists, like I know I went to art school and nobody taught me anything about running a business. So there was really no models or examples for me on how to run a business as an artist, how to make money as an artist. Just to, share with you, like I had no idea about setting a revenue goal. And I also have my doubts about setting a revenue goal, because I thought, well, so what? So what? So you set a revenue goal, that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to make that money, right? But here's the thing about setting a revenue goal. You will be amazed whenever you set an actual goal, a revenue goal of what you are committed to making this year. And then my preferred way is that you then divide that monthly. It doesn't matter if January is a slower month than December, okay? Or November, when, usually more painting sales come in. You have that same revenue goal month to month to month. The magic of having that revenue goal, setting that goal, and being 100% committed to doing whatever it takes to make that money, you will be amazed once you do that and you commit to making that money and you develop a plan and you ask yourself, how can I make that money this month? So you would total that up. Here's how much money that I know is coming in already. And then you ask yourself, how can I make the rest of this money? What is my plan of attack for this month to make the rest of that money, right? But without the goal, without setting the number, you have to decide on the number, and you also have to have a time frame to achieve that in, right? That is just human psychology. That is how our brains work, right? We have to have containers of time and specific numbers to work within. I did this 100-day challenge. I think it was Gary Ryan Blair was his name that ran this 100-day challenge. It was the very first time as an artist that I set an actual revenue goal for that 100 days. I set a goal to make $25,000 in revenue. I did not care where the revenue came from. It could be from teaching, it could be from painting sales. I wasn't attached to how it was going to happen. I encourage you to do the same. But that was the first time I set an actual number and an actual time frame, and then I went to freaking work on that goal. I was so committed to hitting that goal. I was so committed and connected to that goal. I made it so juicy for myself, how it's going to feel to hit that goal. Wow, can I really do this? I don't know, but this is a grand experiment, and I am all in on this goal. And I will just share with you that $25,000 at the time was more than half of what I was making in the whole year. Okay, so it was really, really a daunting thing for me to try to hit that goal. It was really a stretch, okay, but I was super excited about trying. And let me tell you guys what, I came probably about $500 or so shy of that $25,000 goal, and it blew my mind. So ever since then, I've always set a revenue goal. But let me tell you what, that is the secret ingredient, because if you don't do that, here's what I was doing, and here's what I see so many other artists doing, and that is just kind of going with the flow, like letting things come to you as they come to you. If you happen to sell a painting, great. And then, of course, if you don't sell a painting, that's not so great, right? We all will lose motivation. We'll all lose desire to keep doing our work. And that is not a place where we want to be, because we want to be living our thriving, most successful lives and contributing our most inspired, best work, because also our work will suffer as well if we are suffering. So, my friends, I hope that you have enjoyed this. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. As soon as you get off here, set that revenue goal, decide what it is, and remember, you can always change it later if you need to, but the main point is you have to make a decision on a number and on a time frame. Okay, wishing you all so much success and love. Talk to you soon. Bye.